Khyrstal. You look lovely. One of my favorite color combinations.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Are you ready to pick a question and answer it?
Sure.
You've got a handwritten one and a printed.
Okay.
So think about it.
Who wrote the handwritten one? Then I shall pick that one.
She's German too. I'll let you read it twice, and then I'll read it to you twice.
Thank you.
Judges, her question reads, how has this pageant challenged you? And what have you learned about yourself while preparing to compete? Once again, how has this pageant challenged you? And what have you learned about yourself while preparing to compete?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Khyrstal. I am contestant number 1 for Midwest All-American Goddess at Large. What has challenged me are so many things. When we are competitors, we know that we have got to be on point. We know that we have got to be perfect because we are sitting in front of a panel of qualified judges that are going to make sure that we go on to nationals to make sure that we represent the preliminary that we are competing for. I face a lot, as many of the other girls have as well. So I'm not going to say that what my struggles, my trials and tribulations are any worse or any more significant than anybody else's. But let me tell you, I had rotator cuff surgery 2.5 months ago, and I could hardly lift my arm, and I'm all the way up to here right now. I'm going through physical therapy. But 5 months ago, I started competing for this pageant because I wanted to come back to AAG at Large. I knew that Anthony Simmons, a good friend of mine for over 7 years, wanted me to compete for this pageant, and I said, I will do that pageant for you. I ended up having to have that rotator cuff surgery, and I thought, I cannot let him down. I can't let myself down. I gotta get my ticket, I gotta go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've had that as a challenge, but I had another challenge that's kind of funny. It's kind of sad, actually, because I had a gown that I was stoning. It was neoprene, and when you stone gowns, they don't stretch. The zipper busted out. So I pulled out an old gown and started stoning. It was almost completely done. And then I had another tragedy with that dress. No Star from Fierce Jewels, I called her and I was crying, I was upset because this pageant means so much to me. I wanted to be here tonight to compete, but I knew that my gown was not going to be a winning gown. I knew that it was going to be horrible, and she sent me what she had, a gown that she's never, ever showcased before, and this is the dress. This is the dress, and she sent me all the stones, and I put them on in 2 days. That is a sister, and that is somebody that believes within their heart that you are a winner, and that made me feel like a winner. So I see here before you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like a winner, and I feel that those challenges that I've overcome are going to make me a great representative for Midwest All-American Goddess at Large. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful contestant number 1, Khyrstal.
As pretty as you look, because you look gorgeous.
If y'all knew how we felt on the inside during this process, it's very nerve-wracking, but thank you.
Well, you look absolutely beautiful. I've got your question. Read it to yourself twice. I'll read it back to you twice, and you give them a perfect answer. Your question reads, how has this pageant challenged you? And what have you learned about yourself while preparing to compete? How has this pageant challenged you? And what have you learned about yourself while preparing to compete?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished panel of judges. My name is Kara Fox Paris. I come from Austin, Texas. This pageant has challenged me to never give up. It's challenged me to tell me that, you know what, no matter how hard life gets, no matter how many times you may not succeed, that doesn't mean that one day that you can. It's changed me because as a result of everything, I've learned and challenged myself to know that as a result, you never know what can happen. No matter how much you prepare, it's taught me that you always have to be prepared for the unavoidable, that anything can happen. And so in that process, you gotta smile, hold your head up high, and be proud, because I'm still here, and I'm still looking forward to the future. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, judges, contestant number 2 in our Rush Division, Khyrstal. Y'all can yell the screen, show some love. I love that one thing.
Hi, sweetheart. Surprise.
Hello.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
I love Bob Mackie. I love Bob Mackie. You good? Do you want to read it or you want to just give an answer? Oh, you haven't heard it? Then read it twice. And I'll read it back to you twice. Your question is, how has this pageant challenged you? And what have you learned about yourself while preparing to compete? How has this pageant challenged you? And what have you learned about yourself while preparing to compete?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your contestant number 3 from Raleigh, North Carolina. My name is Amaya. The one thing that has challenged me in competing for All-American Goddess, my 3rd year now, has been just that, competing. I stepped away from pageantry for approximately 11 years, and it was very hard for me to come back and accept the way that drag has grown, drag has changed, drag has evolved. So the way that I've conquered that is by growing with the system, taking notes from you, the judges, watching performers, listening to what they have to say, and doing the best I can to want so bad to represent All-American Goddess at large. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen,